Imagine watching a show where people kill each other for fun, and the audience loves it. At first, you feel shocked, but then you start to enjoy this too. Why does this happen? This is what happens in dystopian stories like The Hunger Games, The Purge, or Danganronpa. These worlds are full of violence and people have stopped caring. Many movies, games, and shows today show a lot of violence. At first, we may feel shocked or sad, but after a while, we stop feeling that. We may even enjoy watching people suffer. This is dangerous, especially for young people, because it changes how we see real life violence and suffering. For this video essay, I will be using 3 pieces of media I enjoy myself. In The Hunger Games, teenagers are forced to kill each other on TV. People in this story watch it as entertainment. We, the audience, do the same. At first, we feel sorry for the characters, but then we enjoy the action and suspense. This shows how media can turn something horrible into something fun to watch. In Danganronpa B3, we follow the story of teenagers who must kill each other in a game. Even though these characters are likable, we still enjoy watching them die. This is a clear example of desensitization. Violence becomes something fun and stops being something serious. Our third example is The Last of Us Part 2. The player sees violence from two sides. At first, we hate the character of Abby for killing a character we love. Later, we play as her and understand her story. After many hours of revenge, killing, and pain, players often feel tired or numb. They stop reacting emotionally. This shows how too much exposure to violence can reduce empathy. If we watch this from a utilitarian point of view, we can ask, does this media make people better or worse? If people become more violent or less caring, then the media causes harm. A study in Mexico showed that young people exposed to violence, even in media, became less sensitive to it. They enjoyed watching or causing harm. This reduces empathy and increases aggression, which leads to a worse society overall. In metaethics, we can find more complex questions like, what do words like good or bad mean? Or where do moral values come from? If the media is constantly showing violence as exciting or normal, people may start to believe that it isn't really bad. Their idea of what is right or wrong becomes blurry. The moral language changes. For example, saying they deserved it or it is just a game shows how people start to think violence is acceptable in some or all scenarios. According to the study by Galan, this is a kind of social labeling, where violence is no longer seen as negative, but as fun or fair, and that is a dangerous shift in moral thinking. This isn't just a made-up scenario from a dystopian narrative, it is actually happening. Let's talk more about the study I was mentioning earlier. In 2019, a study made by Galan in Mexico found that young people who are constantly exposed to violence start to feel less emotional pain or moral rejection when they see it. This is called desensitization. In the study, over 1,700 students were tested. Many of them showed signs of enjoying or feeling entertained by violence. Some even said they liked seeing fights, and others didn't feel bad when someone got hurt. The more they saw violence in real life or in media, the more normal it seemed. The study also showed that in violent communities or detention centers, this desensitization was even stronger. Violence becomes a habit, something that is even expected. Some people might argue, saying that violent media is just fiction, and most people know it's not real. They argue that watching these shows or playing these video games doesn't mean we'll become violent. But even if we don't become violent, the real danger is emotional. We may care less when we see others suffer in real life. We may not help victims or stop bullying because we feel less sympathy. To conclude, dystopian media shows us how easy it is to lose empathy and accept violence as something normal. From a utilitarian view, this brings more pain than happiness to society. From a metaethics view, we can say this is harming society because people are stopped perceiving violence as something bad. There are studies from real life proving this effect is happening now, not just in books or video games. That is why it is important to stay aware. We must not let our emotions go numb. Even in fiction, we must ask, are we watching this for fun or are we watching to reflect? Maybe we're not so different from the villains of this story. This is all for now. Thank you for watching.